why will you see a perfect isometric drawing like this and you will not watch and you just go like that? You are missing something. You are missing what you don't know, especially when it comes to the aspect of isometric circle like this. You are missing a lot. So in this video, I make isometric drawing, this particular shape, very simple and very easy in this class. This one you are seeing here is just a freehand sketching. Okay, so in the course of this video, I just use this one to explain this. Okay, but by the time we finish drawing, this is exactly what we have. Okay, so you will see, this is a perfect isometric drawing. Why must you go to another channel? Why would you watch this when you see a perfect and a clean isometric drawing like this? All right, so follow me. Let's go into details, step-by-step explanation of this isometric drawing. First thing you need to do, as I used to say, that whenever you are to draw an isometric projection, you are to, let me tell you something. I've made a video on the orthographic part of this shape. The orthographic part, the first angle projection, it's on my YouTube channel. You can do it to check around it. This is what it looks like. Okay, so let's start. First thing you have to do when you have to draw an isometric projection is what? Is you have to draw what they call a reference line. The reference line is just an horizontal line like this. So let's draw a reference line here. It's just an horizontal straight line. It's a construction line. Yes, I know that it's a construction line. So I just wanted to see it properly. This is called a reference line. So from this reference line, I will pick a point. I can decide to pick the point here. But now, if I pick the point here now, and I'm drawing like this, you notice that this isometric from this point, it comes like this. So if I'm drawing like this, will the remaining space here contain it? If the answer is no, then shift your point to somewhere around here. Shift it a little, okay? So that the remaining space could contain what you're actually drawing. Not like when you have drawn to some extent, you pick a point and you have drawn to some extent, notice that this place could not contain it, and now started drawing the other side. So this is not recommendable, okay? So please try to make sure that you fix the proper point. Just pick a point anywhere. Suppose I pick a point here now. Let me pick a point here. So this is the point I pick, as you can see on the screen. So from this point, two lines usually comes out. Whenever you pick a point, this point represents this point, okay? So two lines will definitely comes out. And those two lines, one, they must be 30 degrees to this horizontal line. These are the two lines you can see here. These lines and this line. They are 30 degrees to the horizontal line. They are 30 degrees to this, the horizontal line is here. So they are 30 degrees to the horizontal line. So we need to draw those two lines first. Now, we have two different kind of set square. We have a set square that is 45 degrees and 90 degrees. While we have another set square that is 30 degrees, 60 degrees, and then 90 degrees. So this is 30 degree part, this is 30 degree part, this is 60 degree part, and this 90 degree part. So in this class, I'll be using a 30 degree part. Whenever I'm to draw a vertical line, I will use the 90 degree. But whenever I'm to draw either a line like this or like this, or like, I will usually use what? I will use what? The 30 degree part. Okay, take note of that. All right, so I'm going to draw two straight lines out. The first line that I will draw here will represent this line. Why the second line? It will be construction line initially. Then I will make the part that we need bold. Okay, I will make the part that we need bold. All right, this shape you can also see it on the screen. It's exactly what's on the screen, but I'm just using this one to explain to you. And the line that we draw here will represent this line. It will be from line from here to here. It will be a construction line. I know there is no line here. This place is empty. There's no line. But we just draw a construction line because we need to tick from here to here and we need to measure from here to here. So we need to get the distance from here to here. So I will draw a construction line first. Then we start ticking those parts that we need. Like those parts that you see that is already ticked here. We just start ticking those parts. Okay. All right. So let's do that. Let's draw out two straight lines from that point. And another important thing, as I used to say, is positioning of your ruler. Please make sure that you position your ruler very well. Don't make mistake, please. I'm begging you so that your drawing could give you a good mark. If you are preparing for maybe test or anything or assignment, please. This is a construction line. I just want you to see it. I will make the part that we need very bold. Okay, so it's a construction line. Take it as a construction line. I will make the part that we need very bold. I'll make it very bold. Please take note of that. Okay. All right. So let's draw this other side. Please make sure that your set square does not enter your ruler. Does not enter your ruler here. Like it doesn't come under your ruler. make sure that it doesn't come under your ruler. Please try to do it very well. Okay. All right. Then, so from that point, we could see that from here to here is what is from here. The distance from here to here is given to be 40.0. 40.0 is same thing as 40. Okay. So let's measure 40 millimeters and make it very, very bold. Our ruler is calibrated in centimeters. So 40 millimeter is same thing as 4 centimeter. For you to come out from millimeter to centimeter, you have to divide by what? By 10. So 40 millimeter is same thing as what? 4 centimeter. So let's measure 4 centimeter here. Now, from here to here is 4 centimeter. So let's just try to make it bold, okay? From here to here is 4 centimeter. Let's make it bold. Now, this is it. I told you that I will make the part that we need very, very bold. Now, let me try to enrich this remaining one little bit because it's a construction line. You see that? So, this is the part that we need, okay? All right, that is from this part. So, from this same point, which is this point, a straight line went upward, and a straight line went upward here, and another straight line went upward here. Or let's do it like this. Yeah. So from this point, I'll draw a straight line upward. The distance from here to here is given to be what? 20 millimeters. You can see it here, 20 millimeters. So I will come up here by 20 millimeters, and I will need to come up here by what? By 60 millimeters. The measurement is also given here. So from that point, from this point, I'll go up 60, which is this point, and from this point, I'll go up by what? By 20. So let's do that. So from this point, let's go up. So from this point, I will measure what? 60 millimeters. So let's do that. So from here to here is 60 millimeters. So here I will measure what? I will measure 20 millimeters, which is the same distance from here to here. So let's do that. So from here to here is 20 millimeters. Okay. So this is 20 millimeters there. Then you notice that there's a straight line that went in like this. A straight line went in like this. The distance from here to here is given to be what? To be the distance from here to here is 25. Is 25. So if from here to here is 15, 15, here to here will also be 15. It's still the same thing from here to here. Then if you subtract 15 from the entire distance from here to here, that is, let's assume I trace this one downward, which will give me this point, which tell me that from here to here will also be what? 15. So the remaining part is what? Is 25, because if you subtract 15 from 40, you'll be left with what? 25. So the remaining part here from here to here is what? 25, 25. So I will go inward here by 25 what? Millimeters. And on getting to that 25 millimeters, I will need to come upward. So let's do that. Let's go inward by 25 millimeters. So let's measure 25 millimeters from that line. 25 millimeters. Now we could see that from here to here is 25 millimeters. So make it bold. Okay. Now from that point, notice that there's a straight line that went up. That is, a straight line went up like this. So let's draw that. So let's draw that straight line. So the distance from here to here is what is, how do we get the distance from here to here? The distance from here to here is 40 millimeters. Why is it 40 millimeters? We're told that the thickness from here to here, that is from here to here, is what is 20. That is from here to here is 20. So from here to somewhere here will be 20. If from here to here is 20, then let's assume I trace this line to this point, to somewhere around here. So from here to here will be 20. So the remaining part from here to here will be what? 60 minus 20, which is what? 40. So therefore, the remaining part from here to here will be what? 40. So let's measure what? 40 millimeters. So you notice that there's a straight line that join them together here at this point. So a straight line join them together. So let's join them together. All right. Then you could see that from this point, a straight line, we are still going to measure from here to here, okay? But you know that from here to here, same thing as from here to here. So you notice that from this point, a straight line went in, and from this point, another straight line went in like this, okay? So let's try to draw that line. From here, a straight line will go in like this, and from here, another straight line will go in like this, okay? Okay. So let's do that. So let's draw another straight line here. So from this straight line, I will measure the distance from here to here. That is the same thing as distance from here to here. And that is what? 60 millimeters. So from here to here will be 60, from here to here will be 60. So let's do that. Let's measure 60. So this is 60. So let's measure another 60 here. So from that point, 60, I've measured from here to here to be 60, from here to here to be 60. I can join them together with a line like this. And there are many ways to do this thing. As I used to say, if you don't want to do it like this, you can decide to come like this, go up. You can decide to measure from here to here and measure from here to here, go up like this, draw another straight line inward. So there are many ways to do that, okay? So let's try to join them together. This is 60 here, so let's join it to this. So let me erase this one. So from this point now, which represent this point, a straight line went down to join the line that came like this. You know, there was a line that went in like this. So I will draw a straight line to join it. That is automatically 20 millimeters. So I will draw a straight line downward to join it. That will give us automatically what? 20 millimeters. So let's do that. Please always position your ruler very well, please. So the distance from here to here is automatically what? 20 millimeters. You can try that. You can see that it's perfectly 20 millimeters. Perfectly 20 what? Millimeters. So the distance from here to here is perfectly 20 millimeters. So we can just try to make it bold. Then we could see that from here to here, there's a certain distance from here to here, and also from here to here, there's a certain distance. So how are we going to get the measurements? So how do we get the measurement from here to here and from here to here? Since from here to here is 40, so the remaining part from here to here, and you know that from here to here is 60. So when you subtract from here to here, which is 40, we'll be left with what? We'll be left with 20. So the remaining 20 will be shared equally between from here to here and from here to here, and that will be what? That will be 10 10. 10 from here to here, 10 from here to here. So from this point, I will measure 10 inward, and from this point, I will measure 10 inward, and I will draw a straight line, what? A straight line. So let's do that. Let's measure 10 here from this point. So this is 10 from this point. This is 10. Okay, so that is 10. Let's measure another 10 from here to here. So this is 10. So from that point, I'll draw two straight lines upward to represent this line and this line. So let's do that. Let's draw the construction line first. So let's draw another straight line here. So from that straight line, I will measure from here to here to be what? Is what? Is 10 millimeters. Why is it 10 millimeters? We're told that from here to here is what? 10 millimeters. That is from here to here, which represents from here to here. That is the thickness here is 10 millimeters. And the total length from here to the down part here, which is 20 what? Millimeters. So when I subtract 10 from 20, I'll be left with what? 10. So from here to here is what? 10. So let's do that. Let's measure 10. So that is 10 here. And let's measure another 10 here. So you see that there's a straight line that join them together. So let's join them together. So you see that there's a straight line that went up like this, like this. So we need to draw that straight line, and the measurement and the dimension of that straight line is given to be what? 55 millimeters. So let's do that. Please always position. So from that straight line, I will measure a distance of 55 millimeters, which is given from here to here. So let's do that. 55 millimeters. You see that from here to here is 55 millimeters. So let's do that. 55 millimeters. Okay. So from that point, what do you see? Two lines came out, one downward like this, and another one will go like this. So we need to draw that. One will come downward like this, and another one will go like this. So let's do that. Let me put the ruler on top of this line. So I'm doing this so that we will not get any wrong drawings. So a line came inward like this, came down like this. Okay. So a line came down like this. So and you see that there's another line that went up like this. So let's try to get that. We are still using the same 30 degrees set square. Okay, let me check. Hope my ruler is in contact. Okay, so what we have to do is that I will measure from here to here to be what? 45 millimeters, as you can see here. And I will measure from here to here to be what? 15 millimeters, which is from here to here. You can see it here. So let's do that. Let's measure 45 millimeters there. So from here to here is 45 millimeters. And from here to here is 15 millimeters. So this is 50 millimeters. Let me try to erase this one a little to represent the construction line. You can see that. Okay. So this is 15 millimeters. No, so what do you notice? You notice that from this point of 50 millimeters, there's a straight line that went inward like this, just like this at the same time. So I will draw a straight line inward like this, measure 45, then join it with this. So let's do that. So let's do that. So let's measure what is the same distance from here to here, which is what 45 millimeters. So let's measure 45 millimeters from that line. So there's a line I join them together here. So let's join them together. And you could also see that there's a line that join this and this together, this and this, and this and this together. So let's do that. So you can see that. Good. So one more thing, the remaining two things to do is to draw these isometric circles here. So to draw the isometric circles here and here. Now you see that, first of all, this isometric circle that is here is what is at the center, at the middle of this, is just like the middle from here to here, and the one here is the middle from here to here. So let's draw this one first. We need to get the middle. So what is distance from here? What is the half of this line? The half, we need to divide it by 2, and we need to divide this one by 2. So the half of this line is what is 30, because we are told that it is what the total length is 60. So I will need to measure from here to here to be 30. Draw a straight line like this. So let's do that. Let's measure. I can just say, okay, measure 30 here, measure 30 here, join them with a straight line to represent a construction line. So this is 30. Okay, so this is 30. You could see that this is 30 at this point. Please take note of this point, this point. And so let's measure another 30 here. You can see that this 2 and 2 is perfectly 60. So let's measure another 30. So let's join them with a construction line. So now that is a construction line. Okay. All right. So we need to get the half of this line, half of this line, and then join a straight line to get the exact midpoint. You have not yet gotten the midpoint. So let's do that. Now we're told that from here to here is 25. Don't forget earlier that when you subtract from here to here, which is the same thing as the thickness here, 50 millimeters, from 40 millimeters here, which is the total length, we'll be left with 25. So half of 25 will be what? 12.5. So you can see that it's perfectly 25 millimeters. Okay, so let's measure 12.5 here. This is 12. Why this is 12.5? So let's try to identify it. So this is 12.5, this point. So let's measure. You know that this one too is also 25 millimeters. So let's measure 12.5 here. So 12.5 will be here. Okay, so please take note of that. So let's join them with a construction line. So let's join them with a construction line. Okay. All right. Now we have joined them. Now we have successfully gotten the midpoint, the half of the small circle here. We have successfully gotten the half of the small circle here, which is this. So what we have to do is that, you know, we are told that the diameter of that circle is what? We are told that the diameter of that circle is 10 millimeters. So since the diameter is 10 millimeters, the radius will be what? The radius will be, it will be 5 millimeters. That is, so I will need to come here 5 as the radius, come here 5 as the radius from this center. You know, when this is the center, this center now represent this center. So if I come here by 5, it's still radius 5, 5, 5. So I will need to do that. Let's do that. 5, 5, 5. So I will need to come here 5. I will need to come here 5. You can see that point, those points. Okay, so let's do that here. So this is what? 5, and this is what? 5. Okay. So from that point now, what we have to do is that we're going to draw out lines to join all these points together. So I used to say that don't join them like this. Don't join them like this. We join them using the same 30-degree set square we have been using. We join them what? Using the same 30-degree. So we first of all need to form what we call an isometric square. Isometric square is just like a rhombus. Okay, so we need to draw it out. Let's try to form it first. I told you don't join them with a ruler, but you join them using the what? 30-degree set square. Please take note of that. So I'm just trying to balance my ruler very well so we don't get wrong. So from this point, I will draw a straight line here. From this point, I'll draw a straight line. From this point, I'll draw a straight line. And from this point, I'll draw a straight line. So let's do that. Okay, so let's draw a straight line here from this same point. Okay, so remain 2 points. Let's try to draw straight line out, and let's try to draw straight line out here. All right, good. So we have successfully formed the isometric square, that is the rhombus. This is it. Trace it out. Can you see it? So let me erase this small line, this line, this one, and this one. So all right, so you could see this is the rhombus we are talking about. You notice that this rhombus is just like a square. Take note, it has 4 side angle: this angle, this angle, this angle, and this angle. We have 2 angles that are big and 2 small angles there. 2 angles that are small, so we will be using the bigger one. So from this bigger one, I will form something we call V. So from this bigger one, I will form something we call V. One will come to this point here, and the other one will come to this point here. So this one too, I will draw a line which will come to this point, and the other one will come to this point. So let's start doing it one after the other. Let me form the first V here, from this line to this point, that is from this point to this point, and from this point to this point. So let's do that. So you can see that. So you can see that I've drawn a line from this point to this point, and from this point to this point. So what I will do is that, so this is what I will do. I will use my compass, place my compass here, stress it a little bit. Can you see this point to this point as joined together? Just measure. Don't forget that this is the line I tried to draw a line earlier. V from here to here and from here to here. So you can put it here, measure like this, or you put it here, measure like this. It will still give you the same thing. So join them with a thick line. Make sure that the line is thick. Can you see that? Now that is the first V. So don't forget that this one is a bigger angle, and we also have the other bigger angle here. So from this same point, I'll draw one line here and another line here to form its own V. So don't forget, we are trying to do it one after the other. Okay, can you see that line? And also draw another one to form V here. So from that point, place your compass here. From that same point, it must also form what? You can see that. You can see that it gives us perfectly what we are looking for. So you will join those 2 V that came out, you join them together. Now you see this line that I draw earlier here and this line that come here, you see where they meet. I'll put my compass here, join them together here. So I will have to do what? I will have to join them together. I hope you can see that. Okay, so let's try to join this and this together too. I hope you can see that. So let's try to join them together. So that is the isometric circle. This part is not needed. You can erase it little bit. All these lines, they are not needed. So let's draw the bigger one here now. The bigger one is at the center, so we need to get the center. Now, if I want to get the center of this line, it's from here to here. So what is the half? This line is 55. So what will the half look like? That will be 27.5. So let's try to measure 27.5 here. This is 55. So half of it will be 27.5. So this is 20. This is 20. This is 25. This is 26, 27. So 27.5 is there. This is 27.5. Okay, take note of that. This is 27.5 here. Here. Okay. So let me draw a line like this. Let me draw a line like this downward. Okay, to represent that point, so that I will be able to get the half of this one too. So let's draw a line to come downward. Come here like that. Okay, be able to get the half. Now, this is this line from here to here and maybe this line reach 55, it would have been better. Okay, so we need to get the middle. From here to here is what? The total length here is 55. So from here to here is 27.5. So if you measure 27.5 here to this, where it will fall. Okay, all right. So what about this line? We need to get the half of this line. The half of this line is what? Is 30 millimeters. You see that I drew a line from here to here to meet the half here. This is the half. From here to here is 30, and from here to here is also what? 30. So the half is 30. So from this line, I will draw a straight line upward to meet at a point with this line to be able to form the what? The center of the isometric circle there. Okay. So let's try to do that. From this line, from this point, I'll draw a straight line upward. Now, this is the center. We have successfully gotten the center. So from this center now, we are going to form the rhombus, just as the same way we did here. So to form the rhombus where we are to draw the isometric circle. So the isometric circle has a diameter of 20 millimeters, as you can see on the screen. So from that diameter, that is from the center, I will measure 10 here, 10 here, which is the radius 10. When if I measure from here to here to be 10, from here to here to be 10, it will form the entire diameter. Okay, so I'll measure 10 here, 10 here, it will form the entire diameter. So let's do that. Let's do that. This is 10. This is 10. You can see this 10 and this is 10. Take note of that point. Okay, so let's draw this one too. Let's measure this. Sorry, this is 10. This is 10. So from that 10, we do what? We join them together with a what? We need to join all these points together. I told you, don't use your what? Don't use your ruler. Use your what? 30-degree set square. Okay. Always remember, whenever you want to join an isometric circle together, always use your what? 30-degree set square. Please take note of that. Write it down as a tips. Okay. I hope you can see that. So let's draw this line here. Now I'll draw a line here. So I'll draw another line of this point, draw another line from this point to join them together. So you could see that we have successfully formed the isometric what? Square, which is like the rhombus. So you see that this one now has what we call a four angles. These are the two bigger angles we usually use. So these are the smaller ones. So we'll be using the bigger one. From this bigger one, I'll do what? I'll draw a line to this point, and from this bigger one, I'll draw another line to this point. Okay, so let's do that. You see this one at the middle, you can then erase it. You don't need it again. Okay, you can erase all these ones outside. You can erase it. What you actually need is that rhombus, so you will not be confused. Okay, all right, so let's draw two lines out, one from here to here, you can see that, and another one from here to here. So from that point, I'll draw from here to here. So let me put it here. From here to here, I'll join them together. Make it bold. And from here, I will draw a line to this point, and from here, I will draw a line to this point. It's also big. Don't forget. So let me put it here. So we can join, you can see, so we need to join them together. So from this point where they join together, where this line and this line join together, at this point, I'll join them together here, okay? So let's just try to join them together. Place it at the center here. Measure from here to here. Here to here. So you can join them together. And also from here to here. So we can join them together here too. Okay. All right. So this is the isometric circle. You can try to leave it like this or erase it, but you may not erase it. Don't erase it too much, because all this construction line carries mark. Please, all this construction line, they do what? They carries mark. So next thing to do is for you to dimension it, as you can see on the screen. Do well to share it with your friends. Let them learn from this channel and recommend this channel. Recommend it to them. Okay. So please do well to comment. If you have any isometric drawing that is giving you difficulties, or any technical drawing so far, please do well to reach out to me. All right. Thank you for watching.